morning, students. Welcome to the online classes. My name is S. Lakshminarasama. I am teaching Social Studies KGBV Dornipadu from Karnool district. Students, before we are going to the lesson, I will ask small questions. Please answer them, students. Which map is this, students? Very good. This map is world map. Students, all of you look at the picture carefully. Do you observe the picture, students? Very good. What is indicate this picture, students? Very good. This picture indicates war between two kings and two kingdoms. Very good. Here, war is happening, two kings and two kingdoms. Very good. Today, our topic is the world between wars. The world between wars. 1900 to 1950 part 1. Today we will discuss about the world between wars 1900 to 1950 part 1. Now we see the causes of war. Students, what are the causes of war? What are the causes of war? Say anybody? Very good. War for power. War for power. War for authority. War for authority. Next, war for expansion of empire. Expansion of empire or kingdom. Empire or kingdom. Next, war for colonies. War for colonies. War for resources. War for resources or raw materials. Raw material. Students, some developed countries are established their political power, established their authority to another countries. They occupied another countries. So they have strengthened their kingdoms. That's why they do the wars. They do the wars. War for power, war for authority, war for expansion of empires or kingdoms, war for colonies, war for colonies, war for resources, war for materials. Today we will discuss about the world between wars. What situations are occurred on those particular period 1900 to 1950. Here some good incidents, some bad incidents were occurred in this particular period.
Students, today our topic is the world between wars 1900 to 1950 part 1. Here, at the beginning of the 20th century, the world had a population of 1.6 billion people. Here, Industrial Revolution started in Britain or England. Britain was a mother country of the Industrial Revolution. Industrial capitalism had changed the way many people earned their livelihood, but only in the Western countries. Britain was leading industrial powers and also held vast colonial empires spread all over the world. Here, the world was divided into the West or Rest. Here, West means developed countries, Rest means developing countries. Here, most of the developed countries are Britain, France, USA, and Russia. These countries are developed with the help of Industrial Revolution. The rest means backwardness countries. These backwardness countries slowly started industries in their countries. Here, the rest, whose acute backwardness was worsened by colonial exploitation by the West. Students, this picture indicates Eric Hobsbawm. He was a historian. He called the 20th century the age of extremes. Students, why he called the 20th century age of extremes? Because of so many incidents are occurred in this 20th century. Some good incidents and some bad incidents are occurred in this 20th century. That's why he called the 20th century the age of extremes.
Eric Hobsbawm. Eric Hobsbawm called 20th century age of extremes. 20th century age of extremes. Age of extremes. Here we know the century. We know the century. How many years in a century, students? I will say 100 years. 100 years in a century. In a century. How many years in a decade, students? Very good. 10 years. 10 years in a decade. 10 years in a decade. Next, 20th century. Which years came under the 20th century? We see in this class. Here, 20th century. Here, from 1900 to 2000 years coming under the 20th century. Here, 100 years between 1900 to 2000 years. This from 1900 to 2000 years coming under the 20th century. Next, 19th century. 19th century. Here, 1800 to 1900 years are coming under the 19th century. Next, nowadays we have a 21st century. 21st century. But 21st century. 21st century. 2000 to 2100 years are coming into the 21st century. 21st century. Here we see the beginning of the 19th century. Beginning of the 19th century, 1800s are coming under the 19th century. Middle of the 19th century. 1850 years coming under the middle of the 19th century. Next, 1890 or 1900. These are end of the 19th century. End of the 19th century.
All of you look at the picture carefully. This picture indicates Mussolini. Mussolini was a leader of Italy. Here, fascist domination in Italy, Nazism domination in Germany. Mussolini was a leader of Italy. Hitler was a leader of Germany. Here, no people they questioned them. Nobody questioned to Nazism and fascism. People hated the ideology of Nazism and fascism. This picture indicates literacy levels. Literacy levels increasing in this 20th century. Not only literacy rate but also life expectancy also increased in this 20th century because of new discovery of medicine. This picture indicates suits of democratic aspirations grow. People wanted democratic government. People demanding for the independence in 20th century. Students, literally more than 100 nations walked to independence and freedom across the world. People wanted to freedom, equality and democracy to their lives. In 20th century, scientific knowledge also increasing. Next, women got right to vote. Women wanted to equality, women wanted to vote. So, finally, they got a right to vote. Equality for women and vote for women. New forms of art like movies also emerged in this 20th century. Great Depression occurred in this 20th century. So many people they lost their jobs. They wanted to job. They wanted to work. They searched the jobs. This picture indicates millions of people died in two world wars. So many people died in First World War and Second World War. More than 1 million people died in First World War. 2.5 million people died in Second World War. Next, more than 100 nations walked to independence and freedom in this 20th century. Hence, the 20th century was a period of great expectations, experiments, and dangerous developments. That's why Eric Hobsbawm called the 20th century the age of extremes. This picture indicates Nazi Party rally at Nuremberg. Compare it with the political party rallies you have seen. Students, in this picture, Nazi Party rally is a huge rally. We compare the more than nowadays rally. So, Nazi Party, it is very huge amount of soldiers are gathered in this Nuremberg. Next, this photo indicates the famous photograph of Polish immigrant Florence Owens. Her name is Florence Owens. During Depression by Dorothea Lange. It depicts destitute pea pickers in California, March 1936. What would she be thinking? This picture shows Depression period. Her name is Florence Owens. What would she be thinking, students? Maybe I think she think their work. She think their food. This picture shows the atom bomb in Nagasaki. Next, this picture also shows a painting by Kustodiev in 1920 on the Bolshevik Revolution in Russia. It shows a Russian Bolshevik Revolution. What is the artist trying to say? Who the giant leader could be? In this picture, students, they all are gathered here. They have unity. They all are fight against to their leaders. Maybe he was a Lenin. This picture indicates A cartoon in German with caption Buy from the Jews, Betray Your People, 1929. What bias does it show? Students, this picture indicates don't buy from the Jews. Don't betray your people.
Students, let us see the causes of world wars. First one is aggressive nationalism. Aggressive nationalism. Second one, imperialism. Imperialism. Third one is secret alliance. Secret alliances. Fourth one is militarism. Militarism. Students, these 4 points to causes of world wars. Let us see first point, aggressive nationalism. Here nationalism means every citizen has nationalism. Because of every person they live in their countries, that's why they have a nationalism. For example, ideology of nationalism is positive mode. It is a good thing. For example, I am very proud of our country because of I am citizen of India. That's why I feel very happy. I feel very proud of my country because of I am Indian citizen. I feel I love India. I feel India is my country. All Indians are my brothers and sisters. I feel in this brotherhood manner. This is a nationalism. India is my country. This is a nationalism. But here aggressive nationalism is one of the cause of world war. What is the meaning of aggressive nationalism? Here some newly formed countries, Germany and Italy, the countries wanted to make a pride of their nation. That newly formed countries started hatred to other countries, hatred to other countries' people, hatred to other countries' ideas, hatred to other countries' culture. So this is aggressive nationalism. These newly formed countries make their country one of the best country in the world, one of the supreme country in the world. This attitude is not good activity. So we have a nationalism. We give respect to all countries. We give respect to other countries' culture, other countries' habits, other countries' people. We should respect all countries, treat equally. So aggressive nationalism means some countries started hatred to other countries. This is not a good thing to their countries. This one, aggressive nationalism, is one of the cause of world wars. Next, second one is imperialism. Here imperialism means some developed countries, industrial developed countries, they established their political power to another country. So this is imperialism. They were competed to each other countries for raw materials, and established their political power to another countries. For example, Britain had many colonies. Britain had many colonies in the world wide. These developed countries are established their political power on the colonies, on the developing countries for raw material, for assets, for colonies. This is the imperialism. Imperialism is also one of the cause of world wars. Next one is secret alliances. Secret alliances. This is also one of the cause of world wars. Here, German unification by the Bismarck. German unification by the Bismarck. Bismarck wanted to isolate the France. Bismarck wanted to isolate the France. Bismarck made alliances with Italy. Alliances with, first of all, Bismarck made alliance with Austria. With Austria in 1879. Bismarck made alliance with Italy in 1882. Students, here Germany, Austria, Italy, these are come together to triple alliance. Come together to make alliance, triple alliance. Germany. These three countries made alliance to each other. Secret alliance. Some countries secretly maintain the friendship to each other. This is one side. This is one side. Another side is Russia. Russia made alliance with France. France in 1891. Russia made alliance with Britain. In 904. Next, these France, Russia plus Britain. These three countries made with ententes. These three countries made with triple ententes. Here, secret alliances. Some countries are maintain the friendship in secret. So that's why so many countries are afraid about these two groups. These triple alliances, triple entente. So many countries are afraid about these triple alliances and triple entente. So this is secret alliances is one of the causes of world wars. Next, militarism. We see the militarism. Here, developed countries are maintain the militarism. They believe war is good thing to solve the problems. We see militarism. War is good thing to solve problems. Here, developed countries, they believe war is only one good thing to solve the problems. They believe of war. Their developed countries think about this war. Next, in this militarism, developed countries are developed their militarism, developed their soldiers, developed their armaments and weapons. Here, armaments, industries, increasing in this military situation. Armaments industries are established in these developed countries. These armament industries produced many armaments to war. So these industries, armament industries, they get a heavy profits in this military situation. Here, so this militarism developed countries has triple alliance, triple entente. These countries are to motivate their people mindset, to motivate people's mindset, towards the war. Towards the war. In Germany, mothers they motivate their children towards the war in fielding level. So German mothers gave one flag of Germany. So in this field level, their children also have a awareness of war. German children will birth only for war. This ideology developed their mothers in this field level. So here aggressive nationalism, imperialism, secret alliances and militarism, these are main important causes of world wars. Next, we see the immediate cause and immediate provocation. Immediate provocation. Students, let us see the immediate provocations or immediate causes to world wars. First, we see the First World War. First World War period 1914 to 1918. 1914 to 1918. Second World War. Second World War period is 1939 to from 1939 to 1945. Here this is the World War periods. Students, I will ask one question. In these world wars, from East Japan to West America, from Japan to America, these worldwide countries were participated in world wars. That's why we called the world between wars. The world between wars. Here, students, how many countries in the world you know? Here 195. 195 countries in the world. In these 195 countries, 193 countries are member states in United States. Remaining 2 countries did not have membership states in United Nations. United Nations, that is one Holy See and Holy See, another one is Palestine. Holy See and Palestine did not have any membership in United Nations. Next, what is the immediate provocation of First World War? Here, Austrian Prince Archduke Ferdinand, they went to Austrian city They went to Austrian streets along with wife. Along with wife on 1914 June 28. Here Ferdinand was killed by the Serbian. Ferdinand was killed by the Serbian on June 28th in 1914. Here Austria asked to Serbia give explanation. Austria asked explanation to the Serbia. But Serbia did not give any explanation in 48 hours. Austria first of all give 48 hours time to explanation, but did not respond to the Serbian. Again, Austria gave 1 month time for explanation to the Serbia. Again, Serbia did not give any explanation about Ferdinand murder. So, after 1 month after, July 28th, Austria attacked by the Serbia. Austria attacked by the Serbia. This is the immediate provocation, immediate cause, immediate reason for First World War. Next, automatically another countries are came from one group. Some countries support for one group, some countries supported for another group. Here in this First World War, Austria, Axis powers. Here Allies powers. Austria, Hungary, Germany, Italy. Here these are Allies. These are Axis powers. In the First World War. Here Britain, France, Russia, USA, these countries come together Allies. Serbia made alliance with Britain. That's why Britain supported to the Bosnia, supported to the Serbia. These Allies powers are supported to the Serbian country. Here Axis powers and Allies powers. Here these Allies powers are finally got victory. These are finally got victory. Here Axis powers are defeated in First World War period. These are defeated in First World War. This is the immediate provocation of First World War. Next we see the Second World War. What is the immediate provocation, immediate cause, immediate reason to the Second World War? Students, here in the Second World War, Germany attacked to the Poland. Germany attacked to the Poland. Because of Fort of Danzig. What is the reason? The main reason is Fort of Danzig. Here Germany Germany was asked to the port of Danzig to the Poland, but Poland did not agree to left their port of Danzig. Actually, this port of Danzig belongs to the Germany before First World War. After the World War, Germany was defeated. Germany was defeated in the First World War. That's why German places are divided. German places are divided at the time. This port of Danzig occupied the Poland. Present, this port of Danzig belongs to the Poland. Then Germany asked to the Poland, actually this is my place. Danzig Railway is mine. That's why Germany asked to the Poland, but Poland did not left their port of Danzig. That's why Germany attacked to the Poland. Germany attacked to the Poland September 1st, 1939. On the date of September 1st, 1939. This is immediate provocation of Second World War. This is immediate provocation of Second World War. Next, let us see the death and destruction. Death and destruction. Death and destruction. Death and destruction. Here, First World War and Second World War was different to another wars because of so many losses we see nowadays also. That's why these First World War and Second World War are different to other wars. Here 10 million people die in the First World War. Here 10 million people were die in First World War. Second World War, 22 millions to 25 millions people were died in Second World War. 75,000 Indian soldiers died. Indian soldiers died who they battled in Africa and European countries. Next, 6 million Jews also died.
Students, here US attack on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in Japan with atom bombs, which killed between 150,000 people to 246,000 people immediately. The after effect of this bombing, like leukemia and cancer, lingered on for decades. Graph 1 indicates war-related deaths from 1500 to 1999. Here, yellow color shows war deaths in millions. Red color shows death for 1,000 people. Here, the last column tells us the proportionate death due to wars. Number of war deaths for every 1,000 people who lived during those centuries. Thus, about less than 4 people out of 1,000 died in the 16th century, while it rose to more than 44 persons in the last century. Nearly 4.5% people. Graph 2 indicates the armament race. Military expenditure by great powers Germany, Austria-Hungary, Great Britain, Russia, Italy and France from 1880 to 1914 years. Students, here more millions of pounds expended on the armaments race. We see from 1880 to 1914, these great powers expended more pounds on the ornaments. Here, in the year of 1880, 132 million pounds to 397 pounds expend their ornaments. This timeline indicates some important bulletin points about in this lesson. Here, beginning of the First World War, July 28th in the year of 1914. Russian Revolution in 1917. End of First World War in 1918. Treaty of Versailles in 1919. Formation of League of Nations in the year of 1919. Rise of Hitler in Germany in the year of 1933. Breakout of Second World War in 1939. German invasion of USSR in 1941. Formation of United Nations Organization in 1945. End of Second World War, August in 1945. This timeline is very important to the public examinations.
Russia withdrawn from the First World War. Russia withdraw from the First World War because of civil war faced in a Russia. Civil war means internal disturbance in a country, internal war in a country. This is this type of incident faced to the Russia. That's why Russia withdrew from the First World War. First World War officially completed in 1918. First World War officially completed in 1918. After the First World War, victorious countries wanted to punish to the defeated countries. Here, victorious countries, they wanted to impose more penalty to the defeated countries. Here, victorious countries are allied countries. Victorious countries are allied countries said that only Germany was responsible to the First World War. That's why these victorious or allied countries they wanted to punish due to the Germany. Here one agreement made in Versailles. One agreement made in Versailles. Let us see. Treaty of Versailles formed in 1919. Treaty of Versailles. Treaty of Versailles formed in 1919. Here, victorious countries, they want to impose more penalty on defeated countries. So here allied countries are imposed more penalty and harsh terms and harsh conditions. Harsh terms and harsh conditions. These victorious countries wanted to impose harsh terms and harsh conditions to the defeated countries, especially Germany. Here, Treaty of Versailles formed in year 1919. 32 countries invited into the Treaty of Versailles. Here, victorious countries did not invite the defeated countries, especially Germany. Russia also did not invited in this Treaty of Versailles. Russia also did not invited to the Treaty of Versailles because of Russia was withdrawn from the First World War. Because of Russia faced internal war in that country. Here some territorial conditions also there. Let us see. Territorial conditions. Territorial conditions. Germany lost their African colonies, their African territories to the victorious country. Germany lost their territorial boundaries, territorial colonies or territorial places to the victorious because of the Germany was defeated in the First World War. Next, Germany gave Alsace and Lorraine. Actually, this Alsace-Lorraine belongs to the Germany. When Germany defeated in First World War, that's why after the First World War, this Germany territorial places are divided and distributed to the victorian countries. That's why Alsace and Lorraine back to the France. Germany gave the Alsace-Lorraine to the France. These are territorial conditions. Germany lost their territorial places to victorious countries. Next, military conditions. Military conditions. Here, that victorious countries reduced military from 9 lakhs to 1 lakh. From 9 lakhs to 1 lakh. So after the First World War, Germany military was reduced. Germany did not maintain any submarines. And reduced the torpedoes also. 1 dozen torpedoes also. Next, economic conditions. Victorious countries are imposed 6 billion pounds penalty to the Germany. These are the harsh terms, harsh condition to the Germany. That's why this Treaty of Versailles humiliated the Germany. This Treaty of Versailles humiliated the Germany and the world countries. Humiliation means humiliated. Humiliated means create the bad. Treaty of Versailles humiliated the Germany. That's why Germany felt very sad. That's why Germany wanted to revenge the victorious countries. Germany strengthened their army, strengthened their military towards the world, towards the Second World War. Germany strengthened their people to motivate their people mindset towards the war. So this type of revenge was one of the most important cause of the Second World War. So this is Treaty of Versailles is also one of the most cause to the Second World War. Next we see the some empires end with the First World War. Then that is first one is Austro-Hungarian Empire, Austro-Hungarian Empire. Second one Russian Empire. Third one is Ottoman Empire. Next German Empire. German Empire. Students, these four empires end with the First World War. Austro-Hungarian Empire divided to new countries. In the Russia also divided into new countries. Soviet Revolution occurred in this Russia. Next one is Ottoman Empire. Ottoman Empire formed as a democratic secular state. Ottoman Empire end with the First World War, and also Ottoman Empire formed as a democratic and secular states. Next, German Empire became a Weimar Republic. Students, do you understand these four empires? Austro-Hungarian, this divided into new countries. Russian Empire also divided into new countries. Ottoman Empire formed as democratic secular states. German Empire became Weimar Republic. German Empire formed a Weimar Republic. Next we see the League of Nations. After First World War, League of Nations was formed in 1919. League of Nations. League of Nations was formed in 1919. League of Nations was formed by the Woodrow Wilson. Woodrow Wilson was a president of America. He played great role in formation of League of Nations. What is the main aim of this League of Nations? That is preserve peace. Here, this League of Nations is one of the most important organizations in after First World War. Here, League of Nations to control the war, prevent wars, settled disputes through the meetings and discussions. Main aim of the League of Nations was prevent wars and preserve peace. So this League of Nations was a failure to prevent the wars. That's why Second World War came. That's why Second World War came. Next we see the another organization. Another organization. Second one is United Nations Organization. United Nations Organization. United Nations Organization. This UNO means United Nations Organization was formed in the October 24th, 1945. What is the main aim of UNO? To prevent the war. Prevent wars. Maintain the peace. Maintain the peace or preserve the peace. Next, uphold the human rights. Uphold the human rights. Uphold the human rights. Respect the international law. Respect international law. International law. Promote social progress. Promote social progress. Promote social progress. These are main important aims of the UNO. UNO prevent the wars, preserve the peace, uphold the human rights, respect international law. So promote social progress. So these are principles of UNO. UNO has 4 principles. Next, UNO has some organizations also. This United Nations organization formed after the Second World War. This UNO main aim is prevent the wars and maintain the peace, preserve the peace. This UNO has another organizations also. That is UNESCO, UNICEF, WHO, next ILO. These organizations are in the UNO, United Nations Organization. Here UNESCO means United Nations educational, scientific and cultural organization. This UNESCO located in France. UNESCO located in France. Next one is UNICEF. UNICEF means United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund. United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund. This UNICEF located in New York. WHO means World Health Organization. World Health Organization. This WHO located in Geneva in Switzerland. Next one is ILO. ILO means International Labour Organization. This organization was also located in Geneva. United Nations Organization also located in New York. League of Nations was located in Geneva. United Nations Organization located in New York. So next we see the enfranchisement of women. Enfranchisement of women. Let us see. Enfranchisement of women. After a long struggle, British women got right to vote. After a long struggle, British women got a right to vote in 1918. Men away with the battlefield. And that time, women play great role in industries, factories, shops, volunteer schemes, schools and hospitals. Women play great role or key role maintain the organization. In this situation, women got a self-respect and self-confident. She got a economically independent. Women had a economically independent. So women wanted to treat equally. Women wanted to equality in the society compare the males. So women fight their governments. They got the right to vote in 1918. These women got equality. These women got equality in the society.
Students, this picture indicates UNO. UNO means United Nations Organization. UNO located in New York. UNO has 4 principles. First one is preserve peace. Second one is uphold human rights. Third one is respect international law. Fourth one is promote social progress. Students, now quiz time start.